Hey everyone, JC Flowers here, back with another video. They tried to stop me, they failed miserably. So now that I've given you all some background as to who I am and what I do, I'd like to take some time to delve a little deeper into my different beliefs and approach as a dating coach. Now, one thing I try to do as a dating coach is to reduce the amount of times I overgeneralize. While we are a pattern seeking species, I find that we do men and women a disservice when we try to cram them into these convenient little boxes that attempt to explain away all their behavior. Men and women are not collective units, rather, they're comprised of billions and billions of individuals with their own traumas and insecurities and personalities that make them who they are as individuals. So while you will hear me use gendered language and refer to men and women collectively, please know that I'm doing so as a reference to a general rule or what's most commonly observed in the modern world. Those of you may remember in my last video when I mentioned that you should consider me your anti-dating coach, and I think that's something that desires a bit more clarification. In my experience, many of the people that I've seen who have issues in their dating life have them because, yes, they're not trying sufficiently enough, or arguably even worse than that, they're trying too much. Anytime we're wondering whether we should or shouldn't text a person or spending an extra hour trying to figure out what outfit we should wear on a first date, that indicates we're spending way too much time investing in what another human being thinks about us and therefore trying way too hard. There is a wise man from the wonderful mystical land of Manchester named Carl Pilkington. Many of you might be familiar with him. He's hailed as one of the greatest thinkers of all time, worshipped as a god, known world over. And he says something that I very much agree with. He says, and I quote, "You should just do what you want, and if they like it, they're the right one for you." Now, I realize the most dreaded and cliche dating advice anyone could hear is just be yourself. But yet, it's remarkable how hard it is for us to do that. A lot of dating coaches and dating advice you see is geared towards telling you how to be, rather than teaching you how to build confidence in who you already are. And I'm very against tactics and techniques when it comes to the dating world. My rule of thumb is if I have to manipulate someone into being more attracted to me, then they're probably not the right person for me. As your dating coach, my goal will always be to work with the mindset you have towards dating rather than the individual minutiae of it all. So rather than tell you something like text once every 16 hours or whatever, I'm going to be more concerned with what's going on within you internally that's making you feel insecure enough to want to be so invested in checking in with a person that you barely even know. Now, the last thing I'll talk about today is in response to the number one question I get asked on a day-to-day basis, which is, "Jay, what the hell are you doing? Please go back to school and become a pharmacist like you promised us." And for everyone outside of my immediate family, the number one question I get asked is, "Jay, what would you say is the number one most important piece of dating advice you'd give to anyone without even knowing their particular issue?" And without a doubt, I'd have to say the number one important aspect is risk taking. Taking risks should be a constant element in your dating life. Whether you're just meeting someone for the first time or you've been with them for 10 plus years, you're always going to be finding yourself in a place of desire with a choice to make, whether it be to go in for the kiss at the end of a date or to bring up the proposition of introducing something a little more taboo in the bedroom. These things are risky for us to do because it requires us to manifest a desire in reality that may or may not be well received by the other person. But the thing is, the sexiest quality that any human being could ever hope to achieve is confidence. And that, of course, comes with saying things or doing things that may not always be well received by the people around us. But because we're sure of ourselves and who we are and what we want, we speak these desires into existence nonetheless. Alright, that's it for today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I always like to say, let's learn together, let's grow together. So if there's anything you disagree with any of the points I made in the video, please let me know in the comments. And if you find that you align quite a bit with the things I have to say, then I do hope you stick around. But that's it for today. Until next time, take care and well wishes.
Mr. Flowers, you have too much.